going to be me and, well, another colleague. Goke.
I'm Goke Mashood. Good morning. And it's nice to be here with you.
So Goke Mashood will be joining me, and it's going to be me and Goke and Hi every Mondays and Wednesdays, like we told you on Monday. So conversation, just in case you are tuning into the program for the very first time, this is why we bring you stories making the major headlines in the dailies. We do our best to give you top-notch analysis. In due course, we get to open the phone lines. We invite you to be a part of the flow, our little talk shop, as we like to call it. And together, we try to make sense of, to understand and unravel, discern those major events unfolding around our dear country, our nation, and our world. Mondays to Saturdays, except Sundays, we are here. And that is what we do on Conversation. That is why the program is called Conversation. And it's our thoughts, views, and opinions, what you'll be hearing from us as presenters and analysts, not the corporate views of the Broadcasting Corporation of Oyo State. And of course, we are networking on Okogo FM 96.3. That's our sister station in Alaga in the Okogo of the state, Agility FM, Gambari, Ogbomoso, on the 92.1 FM dial. No one beats our reach, as we always like to tell you. All over this great state, we are there. Beyond the state, we are there. Beyond the shores of Nigeria, we are also there. Just latch on via the social media platform, Facebook precisely, at BCOS, and you are on to Conversation. Once again, wherever you are listening across the world, you are welcome.
Indeed.
Right, so straight to the major headlines and the meat of the news this morning. Okay, INEC projects over 100 million registered voters for 2027 poll. Oh, that's almost half of the country's estimated population.
Yes.
And to deploy 1.4 million adult personnel to over 170,000 polling units. Police warn against armed groups' use of illegal firearms. That's as Tinubu Obi others signed peace accord. Atiku ADC absent. Oh, why were they absent? And committee for a stated 30 peace accord since 2015, says Abdul Salami, and we are committed to accord principle. Okay, that's the principles of the peace accord. That's what he's talking about there.
The peace pact. Well, once too many. It's not the first time we're going to be having that when we're having major elections. But the truth is, we should not dwell on just the talk. When they talk, they should walk the talk. And it's not just about signing a peace pact, but making that peace manifest when we're having our elections. We don't want all these pre-election, even election and post-election violence. We don't want it anymore. We're saying it is democracy, and of course, since 1999, there should be tremendous progress and underlined progress that should mark our electoral processes. And to be talking about violence and not signing peace pact should not be seen as, wow, commendable. We should have gone beyond that. So even if we have news headlines making it, it's not something that we should now dwell on like, wow, what a way to go. We should have gone past that way like 10 years ago. So if we are just there now, it's not to be celebrated. It's something we need to look into and make sure it comes into reality.
You know, like you said, okay, sometimes it's sad and disheartening that you watch these peace accords and you know in your mind that the people, the major actors, do not really intend to honor that accord. They would resort to violence if necessary, if need be. And then, one of them seems to insinuate, that the end justified the means.
The means.
And then he said power is not served a la carte. That was what he said the last time.
Yeah.
That you have to fight for it.
You have to jostle for it.
And then run away with it.
Grab and run away. So, now imagine such statements.
So, but then, well, they are signing this peace accord, and again, I'm not really happy that Atiku and the ADC were absent. I do not know the reason they did not attend that particular event. But then the Nigerian electorate, like I always say, are much more, looks like the voter awareness is growing now.
Yes.
And we seem to be, like I said, a lot of the major actors, the gladiators, will be in for surprises in 2027.
No doubt.
So the Australian election, I keep saying it, that it seems as if it has shown that the electors have shown that they are no longer pawns on anybody's chessboard. and that they can take decisions for themselves. It's not about somebody having the mumu button of millions of people. But well, those who counter that argument, some of my colleagues, they said Osun was an off-cycle election, and that's why we had that kind of thing manifesting there. That now that we in 2027, we are going to have all the states, more states going for governorship elections, and then the presidential election, national assembly, state assembly. Yes. That we might just see the same things playing out. But
well, whoever said that there's an off-cycle election, maybe they are missing the points here. There's an off-cycle election was even why it was the signature of all highs. Now we're having most of these elections. Now imagine if we're having like, I don't want to use 30 CPs. Now they have to just state election. We're not talking about kidnapping. We're not talking about. We don't even want to go there. But now the truth is, we're having major elections. Like you always say, the Momo button is always there. What is going to press our Momo button? You're going to press our Momo button with performance. We are no longer voting parties
based on credibility. Integrity.
It's integrity. We are looking at candidates now. Who are you feeding in? Who are you filling in for us? It's not a matter of there is one Baba somewhere who's going to say, no, we hold the state by the palm of our hand. Don't worry. We control the cosmic. No, that is not the situation. And that should. It's serving Osun election is serving as a critical turning point in Nigerian political process. That is what many people don't realize now. It is not election as usual. Business as usual. It is now unusual. It's not that you just sit somewhere and do all the permutations and all this. Now, there are some who say, fine, somebody let it go because he wasn't interested in the politics. No.
Oh.
It is the will of the people now coming to play. And if you stand against that will, they will crush you. It's not a matter of sitting somewhere. And now, thank God we're having now, INEC is really coming to play, that we are really independent. And if we are independent, we want to see that independence in all elections. Not just of a state, and that has come to stay. And that is what we, the masses, that is what we should champion. It's not the case that never mind whether we vote or not, what will be. People, they know who is going to be there. This is not the time for it. This is time for us to look for a certifiable, credible candidate, and whatever we can vouch for, give the best, and let the best win.
And for me, well, I am not for this idea being pushed forward by the G100, saying they want to find a consensus, credible alternative to President Bola Tinubu, opposition alternative. I think as many people as would want to should throw their hats in the ring, let the people make their choice. And as 2027 approaches, I think what we need to worry about is not really much about electoral violence. That has been, yes, it's still there, but that has been downplayed. What we need to worry more about is vote buying. But again, on the flip side, like you said, the people with the deepest pockets couldn't have their way in the Osun election.
They could not.
At least we know who and who has the deepest pockets, are supposed to have the deepest pockets.
Yes.
And they did not win. So, well, let's see. The chairman of the Independent National Electoral Commission, INEC, Professor Joash Amokuton, on Tuesday said the commission will deploy no fewer than 1.4 million ad hoc personnel across over 176,000 polling units for the next general election. This is just as President Bola Ahmed Tinubu and other presidential candidates signed the first National Peace Accord on issue-based campaigns ahead of the 2027 general elections, with former Vice President Atiku Abubakar and the African Democratic Congress absent at the ceremony. The accord, organized by the National Peace Committee in partnership with the Kuka Center, commits political parties, presidential candidates, and their supporters to peaceful campaigns, respect for electoral institutions, and issue-based engagement ahead of the elections. Okay, I'm trying to see if there is a reason why. Okay, the absence of Atiku and the ADC was notable as the political parties and candidates began preparations for what is expected to be one of Nigeria's most competitive election cycles. Well, I guess they will be having an explanation for Nigerians as to why they were absent.
Really? Could it have been the timing, or they were not duly informed? We cannot brief for them, but we know that the reason they absented themselves from that event is really loud, and they should just give Nigerians whatever their excuses or extenuations could be. And the truth, I even want to look more than the elections that we're even having. Let's even look at our political parties and the platforms. Now, the money is no longer going to be played in Nigerian politics. How about the process of selection? If you're asking someone like me that, hi, I'm interested, I want to become the president of this state, and you're asking me to cough out 100 million naira, where do you expect me to get that?
Well, you could consult your friends. They could come together. Well, I don't know. How many friends do you have, Goki?
Well, even if I tell friends that, okay, come together, okay, is interested in becoming the president of this country, I know what is going to accompany that. It's going to be this smile. Or somebody try to wake me up. Please wake up from your nightmare. Because they would rather invest.
You have your right to contest. You have your right to throw your hat in the ring.
Really?
And you are a Nigerian.
Yes. But obviously with that kind of money,
I will support you.
I appreciate it.
I will support you. Well, I believe I can still contribute at least maybe like 2,000 naira.
That's the way to go.
To buy. So, if maybe, like I said, I don't know how many friends you have. Then if we go on social media, okay, go Kemo shoot this. Well, if Mr. Abayomi Fabumi, Dr. Ayela Bogo, Babade Dayo, Mr. John, Mr. Jide from Mr. Alex and William, I'm trying not to miss out any names of our regular callers now.
Mr. Tide from Boshogbo, and they all come along. Okay, fine.
So eventually we'll get something.
Because actually the point is that's why we're not having actually the best candidates for us. We're just having what is given. You get gone. Maybe that is becoming history now, where people will just come from abroad, and then the next thing is they are the flag bearer of these political parties that we have, or what they call platforms. And we need parties to be based on ideas and deals, and even principles, and all this switching. I don't want to use that word cross-carpeting that I used to. We should not. People should have what they stand for, and even political parties. And when we add that parties are no longer platforms, like somebody will say that we don't have political parties, we have political platforms. When we have parties, then we can have individuals who are credible. And even I want to use the word creditable, that we can, okay, fine, let's go for this based on their track records. Maybe we are getting there by and by.
Well, in the meantime, former President Goodluck Jonathan has been talking and is concerned about the influx of governors and other political office holders to states where they are holding off-cycle election. They call it a siege. Off-cycle elections, influx of governors, others poses threat to Nigeria's democracy, Goodluck Jonathan, and he recalls how he handled similar trend in Anambra, Ekiti in 2013. 2014. Well, talking about how he handled such similar trend, he said he ordered them to leave the state immediately, but you can only give orders to those that belong to your party. But as for the others, I quite remember, I think it was Mr. Rotimi Amechina when he was governor, and he was, I think he was trying to enter, it was Ekiti, on the eve of the election, and he was stopped by a band of soldiers led by a second lieutenant. And Mr. Amechi said he said he could not be more than 27 years old. And I said the boy told him that, Your Excellency, if you proceed any further, you will be shot. and of course, all these security guys, of course, it's security detail made up of policemen and DSS. They didn't have the temerity to confront the soldiers. There were not more than 5 at the border between them. I think at the entrance, what called the gateway into Ekiti. So he had to turn back.
Of course, and I know his security tell him, Your Excellency, we cannot guarantee your safety.
And the young man was acting on the orders of the presidency.
The time.
So for him to have said that, I think that what the presidency told him to say that and if necessary, just without force.
So why we even look at that? Why must? Well, it was a very good and commendable observation coming from the ex-president Jonathan. But why must we have this avalanche? I want to use that word of governors when we're having off-cycle election and all of them moving. I see a lot of intimidation now. But it's not solidarity.
Well,
it is not. If you're having your elections, fine. There are ways we can move in and say, okay, fine. Not on the election day, not on the eve of the elections. And what is your president? Don't you have a state to govern?
Well, it could also be solidarity.
Those solidarity are we talking about? Those solidarity.
you are trying to give your colleague in the same party moral support, and I don't think, from what we have seen in Osun, that wouldn't
That
change
is not what.
anything.
That's what talk about the will of the people.
By the way, Goki, Senator Akpabio, the Senate President, the governors who went to Osun and the others, the senators, they left very quietly. They came in with a lot of ceremony, but they left very unceremonious.
Hey, they are
the
departure.
we heard that they left in the wee hours of the day when the election results started trickling in, and then they knew that they lost. So they said one of them were leaving around 2 a.m. 3 a.m. and how do people get to know that they were living in the neighborhoods they passed through? Just all those revolving lights.
Yes.
Plenty of lights.
We got it.
And they said, okay, a long convoy. Who are these? Then someone just remembered, Mr. Akpabio. And they left very quietly.
Well, maybe that is just to buttress that saying that success has many friends, but failure is an orphan. Now, imagine if they have won the state. They'll still be gallivanting, just like you always use.
Probably they'll still be there. The senator might still be there.
And making statements.
Making some of those is controversial statements.
We have come to stay.
Perhaps the most controversial Senate president we've had.
Another story, historical. Let's see what we have here. Okay, just to buttress that again, we have parties commit to clean polls, issue-based campaigns.
Okay.
And of course, maybe this is what looking at as we have in celebrating a statesman at 85. And we're having the first self-declared Nigerian president, military president.
Military president.
Babangida.
Ibrahim Babangida.
Bangida. Well, that's fine here.
But they also, again, Goke, Plateau again. 24 killed, many missing, others injured in fresh Plateau attack. Neighboring communities deserted. Women protest killings as victims receive mass burial. Well, that's on page 28 of the Nigerian Tribune this morning. At least 24 residents of Binpa village in Kombun district of Mangu local government area of Plateau State have been killed, and many others injured by suspected gunmen in the early hours of Tuesday. The victims of the attack were given a mass burial, while women in their large numbers took to the streets to denounce the incident. Multiple local sources who escaped the incident report that the gunmen attacked Binpa village at about 12:45 a.m. It was learned from security sources that assailants in their numbers entered the village covertly and dispersed to different homes where they used dangerous weapons, particularly daggers, to attack people. Based on what we gathered, they parked their motorcycles somewhere and entered the village, in contrast to their earlier raids in other places where they frequently heard gunfire during their entrance. It was as if they had planned which houses to attack. They broke into houses and killed people with dangerous weapons like daggers and other cordials to keep residents of the neighboring villages from knowing what was going on, a source said. And yet,
our heart goes out to people of Plateau State, but it's becoming one incident too often.
Okay,
and it's tragic. We're having Plateau State as the epicenter of this crisis. Because that was in the middle of the night, 1 a.m. And then you're attacking these unarmed civilians, and particularly women and children. They are always at the bane of this calamity. And sometimes I feel the state government is not doing too much, it's not doing enough to curb that.
If you ask them, they'll tell you that they are handicapped, that there's just as much as they can do if the federal authorities are also not forthcoming. But okay, for me, what kind of people have we become? What kind of country have we become? Now, it's one thing for the killers, but then the rest of us too, we hear these things and everybody moves on as if nothing has happened. It has become a new normal. It has become part of our existence. And I'm just wondering where killings become an everyday thing and a normal thing, like I said, a new normal. And then look at this wave of killings now, a whole 24.
24.
And like I said, we move on as if nothing spectacular has happened. Wait for the next incident to happen. The perpetrators, if it keeps happening, keeps following the same cycle, well, this time they entered quietly. They use daggers and probably machetes. They use cordials to murder people, probably in their sleep. But then the fact that these things keep occurring, it means that the perpetrators cannot be far away.
They are not. They are never far away.
It means they are not being. It means they are not being apprehended. They keep coming back. They keep coming back for more blood.
And that is what is marveling us. That is what is disturbing. Maybe the disturbing reality is the state, whether we want to blame the federal apparatus or even the state or even the local government for it, they are not doing enough. Because now, just like you said, we are becoming desensitized. Anytime we hear news like this, we just let it pass like, wow, it happens. And which is not supposed to be. We might not know it, but we are becoming traumatized. Because the trauma is just to look away, because I don't want to involve myself with the number of casualties, whatever has happened. There are times when you go and through the pages of newspaper and you know when the news, when it smells, you just want to turn, okay, we still have this. And the next thing is, hey, yeah, you move on to better things. Now we talk about elections. Look at the security forces deployed. Now we're talking about lives. And we just suddenly, and I have to even bring the media into it. Is this taking the center stage? No. You just have it right there. Why?
Just in the
Does it capture attention? Is it the topical issue of the moment? No. So it's like we are all playing politics with human lives, with Nigeria, with the masses, with our lives. And that should even bother us. And no matter how much we talk about this, talk is cheap. That is what we need actions. We need things done. We need our security forces on the move, particularly in that plateau state. It's becoming an incident too often. We just have that, and anytime we hear plateau state, that is all okay. World community is under attack again, and that should not be.
And well, for Benue and Plateau, well, some say that it is all so complex as to the reasons for the killings, as to those behind the killings. Some say it's about religion, religious cleansing. Some say it is ethnic cleansing. Some say it is about killer herders. Some say it is about terrorists and bandits. Some say it is about mining, illegal mining at that time. Well, that for me seems to be the most plausible and most sensible theory. If you talk about Benue and Plateau, we have those that know that those mineral resources are there, but some communities are sitting on those resources. They want those mineral resources for themselves. This day that I'm talking about could even come from outside the country. Conglomerates, organized business conglomerates, international business.
I want to use international cartels. Let's use them, international cartels.
So,
of course, they are not alone on that. We have some who are into the details of that, and they don't care what is done. They just want to make their money. But whatever money they are making here, let's call it, it's blood money. Because, of course, you can't be having this because you have some minerals and some money to be made, and then you put the lives. These are Nigerians. Of course, sometimes I don't know if life has become so cheap in Nigeria that I just want to compare it to what you have in the United States. When there is any war anywhere, you see them going to that country, evacuating their people. Not, of course, thank God we are making progress with what happened in South Africa. But now this is Nigeria, and we have these people inside of Nigeria killing us, and nothing is done. It's just that the government, they just fold their hands and say, okay, fine. Have you come with these casualties again? And after, the usual semantics, we commiserate with the people, and we'll see that justice is done, and they give us these rhetorics that is so empty, and just give it a week. And after 2 weeks, you still have another attack.
You wait for the next one to happen.
Just wait for the next one to happen. What is the proactive measures taken? We have not seen any.
Okay, nobody is coming from outside to kill us. We are killing ourselves.
Yes.
That is exactly what is happening. Like I said, maybe the angle of the outsiders that you mentioned, like I said, these international organizations that are interested in mining, they will set us against ourselves. Maybe give some money to the killer herders. So They do that because the killer herders are mostly of a particular religious extraction. So they want to create the impression that it is religious cleansing. They want to create that impression. Then they set us against ourselves. So while we are busy killing ourselves, and while communities that are sitting on those resources have been removed or wiped out, they can then move in with their excavators. These are things that are happening.
And that has always been the stratagem. I don't want to use that. And it's true to it. It's what has been happening. Just like you said, it's just that one quote in one movie that I don't always want to mention. When they say guns don't kill people, people kill people. It's the same thing we're having. We don't have these outsiders, like you said, killing us. We are the one killing ourselves. But whatever reason, I believe it's so inane and so ridiculous.
So where has our humanity gone? Back to politics. I'm still on Osun. Osun APC Guber candidate Oyebamiji calls for calm, raises alarm over attacks on supporters. But the reports I got yesterday, which I could not really confirm, was that he had eventually accepted the results. But let's see the contents of the story. That initially they said there was a story that his party
looking into
they are looking into the results. They said they had rejected the results. Well, okay. The All Progressive Congress APC governorship candidate in Osun State, Bola Oyebamiji, has said that the conclusion of the election marked the end of the campaign, but not the end of the struggle for effective, inclusive, and rapid development of the state. Oyebamiji, however, urged the supporters to remain engaged, organized, and committed to working for the collective interest of the state, stressing that the values and causes promoted during the campaign remained relevant beyond the election. The APC flag bearer who made the assertions on Monday called on party members and supporters to remain calm and peaceful following the conclusion of the poll. According to him, while he and members of his campaign had hoped for a different electoral outcome, he respected the position of the electoral umpire and supported the APC's ongoing review of the election results. Oyebamiji thereafter expressed appreciation to party leaders, members, volunteers, and voters who supported his candidacy and believed in the development agenda presented by his campaign. Well, this sounds like a subtle acceptance of the results, though he says he supports his party's ongoing review of the election results. Well, maybe the party might find something reason to say that they do not accept the results, but from what I'm reading here, the man sounds from his body language like
well, I mean, he seems to be a man of peace, of course. It is one thing to lose. Losing does not make you a loser. But now, when you refuse to accept the reality of the loss, that is when you become a sole loser. Of course, in the clear, we're not going against the party, looking into trying to review. Of course, whatever loopholes you can have, that is still good. But now we should even draw this line. Why must every election and every result be contested in the court of law? Why must we always take it up to that level?
Oh, this is Nigeria. Maybe one day we'll grow past that.
Because if the resolution to every election is now, okay, let's take it to the court.
They are the ones that eventually decide who wins.
And the decision is going to be. So why are we having elections in the first place?
College, the judiciary, that's our own electoral college. They are the ones that eventually decide who wins.
Maybe we should have our constitution reviewed in that manner. So if you're having an electoral college and we're having that, then you should not be going to the court of law. Let's just have that. Fine. Whatever this body reviewed, that is final.
Which Nigerians are going to be on the electoral college list? Who can be trusted? Well, I don't think we can have something like that in Nigeria. And why do I say this? Okay. Even if you have the most credible, that everybody agrees that these are good people, that these are people with integrity, at the end of the day, the politicians especially, they'll find cause. They'll say, oh, it's because he's from northern Nigeria. Oh, it's because he's a Christian. Oh, it's because he's a Muslim. He's a Muslim.
Well, we have either challenges, but the truth is, we'll get there. We'll get there. By the time we are devoid of all these ethnic and religious biases we have with our politics, maybe we'll get somewhere, and it's somewhere good. We can still have them. We can still have these credible Nigerians, and whatever decision made, we can still abide by it. And I believe we are on our way with what has happened in Osun's elections, and then straight there. We are not stopping anytime soon. But one thing that is the highlight, that is always what I always want to talk about, is the will of the masses. The will of the masses and the power of our votes. And no longer these godfathers somewhere and dictating the numbers. And that is something.
So if you are going to
that
have
should scare them.
so if you are going to have a mumu button, you can have a mumu button if you are a good candidate.
Yes.
And if you are credible.
And if you're
if
credible.
You have integrity.
With performance.
With performance.
And that is what. And if that will stay and I stay, then we are having progress, and we are going to make tremendous and achievable progress in no due time. I guess we should thank Nigerians. Well, I don't want to give the credit to the electoral bodies, and then we should thank us Nigerians. And because what happened in that state is just a microcosm of what we should expect in the next election. Just like you always say, 2027, the politicians will be in for surprises.
Right, you have something there?
I just want to move away from politics into something possibly economy. Federal, state, councils share biggest 3.007 trillion cash. And we have that on the Nation's newspaper. And on page 8, let's just see what we have. Does that put food on our table, and does it work against the inflation we're having?
Well, it's also about the governors getting more money. Yet, nothing seems to be changing. Nothing significant seems to be changing.
And sometimes we always see when the federal is pushing that the governors are getting more money, it's like pushing the blame to the governors. And that has always been. And let's just see what.
Truly, many of the governors cannot satisfactorily account for the more money they've been getting in terms of translation to better life for the people. Many of them, the aim thing is to go do infrastructure, and no significant social development programs, social welfare programs to make life better for the people. Yes, infrastructure is key, and it also makes life better for the people, but you don't put the cart before the horse. Like I always say, you don't build infrastructure without building people. I'm saying it for the upteenth time. The people you refuse to build will be the ones who destroy the infrastructure you have built. To them, to many of the governors, it's all about bridges, it's all about culverts, it's all about roads and all that. Things that people will see as, oh, it was during so tenure that we did this.
And sometimes when they engage on this particular, on all this infrastructure building, and we talk about capital projects, most times they're trying to line their pockets. Because at the end, let us look at the shabby jobs they always do. And when we look at them, just like you said, that building infrastructures without building the people. The people are the greatest infrastructures and resources you can ever build. Some of these developed world, they have done it, and they are reaping the reward for it. But in Nigeria, we just see people, just like you always use these words, puns, on their chessboard. Even when it comes to the economy. Now, let us look at, if you're pushing it to us that we're having 3.007 trillion being distributed among federal, even state and local governments. Now, how does that put food on the table of the masses, of the common people? Has that translated to the drop? Because what we're experiencing now with the prices of food products and commodities, in fact, it is killing. And nothing is done about it. And the next thing, what we hear is, okay, Dangote is dropping this. We have petrol fuel price drop from 1,200 naira into 1,110 naira. I just wonder, how does it relate to what common men are going through? And it is still the same thing we are having here. Don't be dishing out these figures. And Nigeria, they are fond, I don't know whether it's the Ministry of Finance or whatever it is, the statistics, they are fond of dishing out these figures to us. And most of them, they are making it in fractions and decimals. Why they not always putting it? Fine, if we are having increase, that's what it's not just 40, this is going to be 40 naira on this. Put it point back, and we are now having 15.4% drop. And if you do the calculation, it's just so negligible, so inconsiderable. I just wonder, so what are you now saying? We don't want that record. We want it, particularly right now in this state of the economy. Inflation is biting hard on us Nigerians.
I think they are telling us that, okay, the statistics have to come first before we start feeling the impact, the direct impact, in terms of more food on the table, better affordable education for our children, and better access to healthcare services and other social services. If they are telling us that that will come later, and the statistics have to come first. But then, why is it so painfully slow. It's almost 4 years, and yes, and the same way, like I always used to tell Bimbo when we were together on the program, the same way the previous government told us that okay, we shouldn't be too much in a hurry. Things have gone really bad. That we should be patient until it was 4 years, the first time of that particular administration, the Buhari government. And then they told us that, okay, the 4 years we are used to just lay the foundation, then they'll be consolidating within the next 4 years. So another 4 years passed, and it was 8 years, and things went worse. So now we have started again the same cycle. Telling us the same thing. Okay, let's just do the statistics first. And then, mind you, it's the same political party and an extension of the same government, and they said they will continue from where
that one stopped.
But now the language now is that one failed woefully. Wasn't Mr. Sunday Daddy now that recently the same government that you said you are going to build on their templates, that you are going to continue to consolidate on the achievements they made in terms of reforms. The major thing that you did when you came in was that you removed subsidy on petrol. Now you are now recounting and saying that government really ruined things, that things really went bad under that government. Not even the Jonathan government again. You are now still blaming the Buhari government, the same government that you were a part of and that you said was doing very well when you were there. So
all this blame sharing and name calling, and I guess I started way back in Nigerian politics. It was Jonathan, we came in here, we're going to right all the wrongs. And then it was Buhari again. You see, it's so hard. It's going to be gradual when we are building something that has been debilitated for a very long time. And that took another 8 years. And now this administration again, they're always laying the foundation and passing the buck.
We're still talking about hard times. Drop IMF policies, tax the rich to save the poor. That's coming from the Academic Staff Union of Universities to the federal government. And residents alleged rip-off as cooking gas sells for 1,500 naira per kg in Lagos, Ogun. Well, yeah, Monsignor from Rita Analog Watcher is always very passionate about this matter of cooking gas. And she should be, just like every other Nigerian. Well, residents in Lagos and some parts of Ogun State are calling on the government and its regulatory bodies to save them from the grip of marketers selling liquefied petroleum gas, popularly known as cooking gas, over exorbitant price, despite its abundant supply and reduction in gantry price. In what they described as rip-off, the consumers allege that despite the downward adjustment of the gantry price to 950 naira per kilogram kg from 980, retail outlets still sell the product between 1,400 naira and 1,500 naira per kg. This represents 47.3% and 57.8% increase. Now I'm trying to see if the sellers have any explanation for this. Okay, there's a response from the president, Nigerian Association of Liquefied Petroleum Gas Marketers, Mr. Edu Iyang. But they said he did not pick his calls, and also when called, Executive Secretary and CEO at that particular association, Mr. Basi Essen, said he was in an urgent meeting, promising to reply later. Okay, so they could not give any response as at news time. And other retailers in Abuja and surrounding areas were still at about 1,500 per kilogram, the same level recorded in July. Okay, that's so much for cooking gas.
But sometimes, do you know, I always wondered why cooking gas should be more expensive than the PMS. They're not giving us the rationale behind it. And most times when they talk about we have cooking gas and we have I just want to go back in the days when we used to have it like 100 naira, 80 naira. I know when it became so expensive, you can feel this, what do we call it, this 12, this capacity. 12, how do we measure it? 12 liters. And you have that, and you have it like 4,500 when it was even at the time when we say it's becoming expensive. And now we're having it at 1,500 naira in Lagos and some parts of the country. Now, how do we begin to justify the increase in cooking gas over that of the PMS?
Well, it beats my imagination too.
Because sometimes it's just when we're talking about, okay, are we still talking about subsidy? Because talk about gas flaring, we have more that is being wasted on daily basis than what is even being thrown into the public for use. Gas flaring.
Gas flaring.
So if they are having that, we just wonder, are some people just sitting? Are some people just sitting and then be dictating what should be happening? Particularly to products that they know that they are just a must-have and must-use by the commoners and the masses of this country. Sometimes and these are the questions that we need to ask. But sometimes, okay, we're not experts in the oil industries and whatever it is they have. And by the time they are coming up with their excuses and extenuations, and you just begin to say things to them, okay, this is the reason why we're having gas flaring. This is the reason why cooking gas is on the increase, on the rise, because we have more. Because I used to, when I was growing up, there used to be time you don't even keep these cylinders in your house. The moment you want to buy, you purchase gas with the cylinders. The moment you say how many kg and you pick it up. When it is done, you return it, then you continue to pick. I don't know if you can still record that. That was what we used to have. You don't buy a cylinder and keep in your houses. You don't do it. You go to the filling station, you get it. When you're done using, you return. They give you another one. So there is no permanent cylinder for your permanent usage. You just continue, and it was just there. Even if there were not so many people at the time using it. And the reason why many people were not using gas, I guess, in the early 90s and the 80s was because of the education at the time. People were, it's more dangerous when you have children at home and using cooking gas because of the control. That was why kerosene was more in use at the time.
And then I think you're talking about the good old days of util gas. I can mention it now because they are no longer in existence.
Okay.
Somewhere around the Bokola area, there, you go there and then you exchange your cylinders.
Exchange your cylinders and then you get it and then it's used. And it wasn't this cutthroat and horrendous, what I call these skyrocketing prices that we have. But now maybe we should have experts looking into it because that price, we need to beat it down to the barest minimum. I cannot say when just how many liters of gas should be less than 200. It should not be less. It should be less than 200 naira. But I want to feel it gas.
Good. Amen. Okay, you are talking about a better Nigeria. You are Unilag, coming from the education sector now. You are Unilag lead Nigerian universities in global ranking. And why am I not impressed by this ranking? You soon know, okay, and it's where we stand on the so-called global ranking. Yes, UI, the two universities where they stand on the global ranking, and they are first in our country.
In the country.
And then, University of Ibadan is occupying the 1,294th position worldwide.
1,294th position.
Worldwide. And first in Nigeria. Unilag is 1,355th globally and second nationwide, while UNN came third in Nigeria and 1,397th globally. Odolagba.
We couldn't even fit into the first. We couldn't even the first 200.
Not even in the first 100.
Not first 100, not 200, not even 500, not even 1,000.
No Nigerian university, and then yes, they will say they are doing so much to fix the universities, to revitalize the universities. They will say ASU is not being responsible when they ask for. They will say ASU is
they're not being reasonable.
They are not being reasonable. And when they see the statistics, I wonder. I don't know why. Anyway, you see some of them, government officials, at the heat of ASU crisis, universities gates are shut for close to 8 months, and you see them flaunting on the front page of national newspapers, flaunting graduation of their children.
Of their children abroad.
Shamelessly. And you are a government official. I still continue to say that we should have that legislation. Once you occupy public office, your children must mandatorily attend public schools. Maybe that will make them to have a change of heart, but of course they will not make laws against themselves.
No, of course they don't. They have never done that. Maybe it's time we open up the phone lines now because we have more of the conversation. All right, if you are trying to call us this conversation, and the numbers to call are 080-5500-9850. And of course, alternatively, you can always call 070-5555-1985. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
Mr. Bukumasu.
Good morning, sir.
And Professor Tola Teriba. My only regret about what is happening in the country today is that I voted for Ahmed Bola Tinubu in 2023. You know, when I was in the office then, a friend of mine, a colleague in the office, we used to argue about it. Bola Ahmed Tinubu will do it well. He asked me to give him the reason why I said that. I said that, can't you see the transformation of Lagos State? He said that we go and sit down. He said because somebody has successfully repaired a bicycle, then want to give him a trailer to repair. So I used to argue with Bola Tinubu with it. But now, when this man was, whenever we are arguing, whenever we are having discussion, this boy will tell me, this friend of mine will tell me, what did I tell you, Adebayo? Then that you can't compare Lagos State with old part. On this platform, I have said this separately that it is better for President Bola Tinubu to tender his letter of resignation, but Mr. Tola will take me up. He will say, no, that's not the best of that's not the better candidate. Why? It is honorable for him. If you don't know where you are going, you should know where you are coming from and go back home. Good morning, sir.
Good morning.
All right, thank you.
Thank you.
Well, if you are saying he should resign, my question has always been, if he resigns, so what next? It's still going to be the same party. It's still going
And
to
is there any credible candidate that we can vouch for? Well, we're not holding brief for any of the politicians. Good morning.
Good morning.
Good morning.
I forgot your name.
Okay.
Yes, Mr. Goke. Yes. Good morning. This is conversation.
Comrade Joshua from
Yes. If President Tinubu resign today, who next? I love that question, Mr. Sola. I love that question. Who next? Who is it Obi? Is it Tiku? Is it Shetima? Abi, if President resign, who will go there next? What does he know about economic reform? All of them, all of that candidates, Atiku,
Hello.
Hello, good morning.
You're on.
Hello. Hey. Comrade Joshua, please do well to call us back. We'd like to have the summation of your thoughts. The line is breaking. We would like to. All right.
Hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning.
Mr. Tola, Mr. Goke.
Good morning.
Good morning, sir.
Our new man. Our program is now Goke. Okay, Goke now. I welcome you, sir, for your robust contribution this morning, sir. My name is Abdallah Fabubu. This is the problem we always have in our nation. You say that nobody else is there, that nobody else can do it if Tinubu resigns. What kind of argument is that for every sake? What is the contribution the Tinubu has brought to us, if not a sorrow and garnishing of teeth? If he resigns today, we probably may not have our Nadi person, but one day an Nadi person will come. Let me now take you to what Baba Ayobade Ayo Adiban just said prior to the election of 2023. He said, don't vote for Tinubu. If you vote for Tinubu, Nigerians will suffer. And I will enjoy myself in my grave when Nigerians will be suffering. Thank you very much. Have a nice day, sir.
Thank you, sir.
All right, thank you. Mr. Pablo, what we are saying is that what the Constitution says, if you should resign today, it's Shetima that will take over. That's why I said, what next? It's still going to be the same political party. And so if the vast majority of Nigerians agree with you that they don't want him again, they will speak with their voice in 2027. Hello, good morning.
Again.
All right, Mr. Kabadibayo.
God forbid bad thing. If he should die today, out of over 200 million naira, will Nigerians stand still? Are you saying this?
The vice president
he
will
would
take
have
over.
saved his face by resigning. It is all horrible for him. you are not doing well, you are not performing. So you should go home. That is it. That is our argument. Another example is he going to be there indefinitely? Another person will come in now out of over 200 million people.
Mr. Adebayo.
If you go home.
Mr. Adebayo.
Yes, sir.
What we're saying is this: if he should resign now, we should expect the vice president to take over.
Let the vice president take over.
Oh. And you don't think you're going to be
said out of let him.
Okay.
That's it.
Oh. You think the man is the problem of Nigeria, not his party, not the current political arrangement, not the current political alignment?
Okay, Mr. Tola. I don't know what is signed from Gowon's cabinet. Then Nigerians have been giving him accolades since then. Okay? When he knew that where Nigeria was going then was very wrong, at the brink of collapse, he resigned, he stepped aside, and people have been applauding him since then.
I still think we should wait for the election. So that is if the vast majority of Nigerians agree with you that he should go. There are Nigerians that believe that it is the best thing to happen to the country and that the reforms are going to work. So, hello, good morning.
Hello, good morning.
Good morning, Mr. William. Good to have you, sir.
Now, come to a plastic plate to talk like that again. I think the government moves here. Take people into APC and over. Why must be clear again? You talk about clear Nigeria. People, Nigeria government and federal government are good students. They don't believe that. Even if you die 100, it don't matter for them. Don't matter to them. I will suggest if everyone have gone, everyone have gone. When I come to my house, want to kill me. You cannot kill me. You cannot kill me. Don't kill me. I kill you. You understand? Let them not go to fail everywhere. Before this will stop, and it doesn't matter. Come to Osun State information back. Yes. Last time I was that say Osun will go by Egypt. Thank God they didn't go to Egypt. The man do well. They 1-1. See, if you do okay, people know it's too good. But I was telling about the other time. I was telling about this man. Yola. When you say I said I was talking about Yola. I now in shock on Yola. Where he is. Thank you very much.
Thank you, Mr. Warren. Boy, if all Nigerians, we should be mandated to carry guns, then there will be anarchy. There will be serious anarchy. Because you don't know who might have offended me in the past. And particularly for us, the young ones, that is taking vengeance and revenge on people we don't find pleasurable.
All right,
good morning in the studio.
Good morning.
Good morning.
This is Femi Andrew.
Good to have you.
Yeah, you are blessed in the studio.
Amen.
Yeah, what I always tell young people is that the greatest battle in Nigeria to fight is poverty. And when poverty comes, that's captivity. So nobody is interested in the emancipation of Nigerians, both Nigerians and international bodies. So what do? We look for a leader who has compassion of the people, not somebody who is just looking for power. That's the only qualified person that can rule Nigeria now. Hello, are you hearing me?
Yes, I can hear you.
The only person that is qualified is not even a technocrat or anything crat. He's a compassionate human being, somebody that hates the suffering of his fellow human being. That's the only person that can rule Nigeria now.
Thank you.
Thank you, please.
All right, thank you.
Thank you, sir.
All right, quickly before we go, this one, Goke.
Right.
2 robbery suspects now in custody in Oyo State confessed during interrogation to have drank MSC with spiced bush meat at their victim's residence after collecting 1.5 million through electronic transfer. Imagine, Oluyole.
Wow.
Yes, we have to go. Second time is 7:30, and we'll be back same time tomorrow morning, God willing. My name is Tola Teriba.
I am Goke Moshood, and up next is Sports Tidbit with Toby Ajewole. What happens to the NFF, and are we having them? I don't want to use the word with the prefix attached to band.
Well, a whole lot definitely to look ahead to, but of course, uneasy days for the NFF.
Yeah, we need that. I want to use the word reshufflement.
Our time will tell. Up next, Sport Tidbits. course, another Wednesday morning right here from the live studio of Oluyole 98.5 FM, your champions dial, and of course, Sport Tidbit coming to your listening and your viewing pleasure. And of course, always a pleasure to be here. Yes, good morning to listeners across Oluyole 98.5 FM, the mother station, Okeogun 96.3 FM, and Agility 92.1 FM. My name is Toby Ajewale, your host on the program. We're live on Facebook, we're live on YouTube. Oluyole 98.5 FM is the channel name, the streaming name. So head on to Facebook and join the live stream. You could also head on to Toby Ajewale on Facebook and join the live stream as you can listen to Sport Tidbit, where we give you the latest stories in the ever exciting world of sports. Are counting down to the start of the new football season across the big leagues in Europe. We're also counting down to the start of the Nigeria Premier Football League, but sort of dress rehearsals as we'll be having Super 6 invitational tourney for MPFL sides, 4 of them, and 2 sides in the Nationwide League 1. We'll be giving you details of that and many more. So just sit back and enjoy this wonderful package. You could call to our